Next in the tank is a better way to travel in style.
That had to be planned.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Ashley Sharma, and this is my fiance and co-founder, James Baker.
We're from Oakland, California, and we're seeking $200,000 in exchange for 15% of our company. Sharks, do any of you remember the perils of commercial travel? Mile-long sprints through the terminal to make your flight, heavy bag on your shoulders and back weighing you down, or death gripping your luggage and bag handle to try to keep it all balanced together?
Not to mention, I keep my prized possessions in my personal bag. And let's just say, I have a lot of prized possessions. But do I have to carry this huge bag through the airport all day? Naturally, my practical, lovely lawyer fiance suggests a boring bungee strap looking thing to take the load off. No thanks. Those things do not make me feel put together, and they definitely don't go with my airport outfit. If only there was something functional and stylish for the modern traveler out there.
Well, now there is. Introducing the Cincha travel belt, the world's most stylish and functional add-a-bag strap that secures your personal bag to your carry-on luggage. The travel belts take the weight off your shoulders, making your trips more comfortable and chic as you get from gate to getaway and back again. Using the travel belt really is as simple as slide, cinch, and go. So Sharks, who's ready to help us literally and figuratively,
but mostly literally,
secure the bag?
So we have some product in front of us here.
All right, ding ding. I knew it was on purpose. So you can't mess up when you're walking down the hall there. So anyway, I think it's a neat idea. It definitely looks better than the hook, strap that James suggested. Does it look that much better? I'm kind of curious. What does it sell for? And all that. But I mean, hopefully they got some sales and some real momentum to warrant their $200,000 for 15%. But and hopefully they have a good reason for that $200,000. Whether it's to, hopefully it's not just to spend on more marketing. So anyway, we're going to check out their website, social media at the end, as we always do. And, of course, feature one of your comments from down below in the super community at the end of this video. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that.
Yes. You have an assortment of our best-selling products. We actually monogrammed our moneymaker for you.
Wow.
It's very heavy duty. It's very quality. It reminds me almost of like a seatbelt in a car.
Totally.
It's that thick and heavy and durable.
Will you tell us a little about your background?
So a bit about me. I grew up, to start, homeless. I'm the oldest son of a family of 6. You were successful if you didn't go to jail and you got a job. Any job would do.
Wow.
You were a success.
Amazing.
What I did have was 2 parents who never let me feel sorry for myself because of my circumstances. They never let me use that as an excuse for my behavior, for my appearance, or for my ambition. I literally went from 16, we had just got off the streets into Section 8 housing. 18, I was in college, the first of the family to go. And then by 21, I was at Harvard Law School.
Oh my God.
Good for you.
Do that as well. Flash forward a couple of years, I'm working as an attorney at a great firm, and I'm stable, I'm comfortable, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? My parents never had the luxury to take any career risk, to take risks at all. Every decision they made was, how do we pay the bills today to feed our kids? And I thought, you know what? I could take a chance and still hopefully land on my feet afterwards. This started out as a box of belts, but every day developing the business, seeing the pride Ash had for it was really motivating and kept us going.
Ash, what's your background?
My background, so I grew up in San Francisco from 2 immigrant parents. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment for most of my childhood because they thought investing in our education was the most important thing. Unfortunately, I wasn't that great at school. I was thinking in Spanish and speaking in English, so I struggled. The fact that I'm here like presenting and speaking out loud is like such a pinch me moment because I hated raising my hand in class. So I knew things weren't gonna come as easy. I knew that I was gonna have to hustle. So fast forward, I went to college to study marketing. And since then, I've been working at some CPG brands, many of them which are startups, and that startup experience has really helped while we are trying to build our own company.
Tell us what your sales
So this is some great backgrounds. You know, I think it's always great to have something for you to look at and say, you know, this was a struggle. For me personally, and it's going to make for a great story later. And I think that attitude doesn't matter what the struggle. I mean, everything scales, right? Everything is relative to what the cards you're dealt are, and for you to be able to look at it and say, okay, this is the situation that I have, and this is how I'm going to get to where I want to be from, you know, basically like, hey, you got a job and you're holding a job to go into Harvard to, you know, to be able to go and go on to be a lawyer. Like that is some ding worthy, awesome stuff. Right. Everybody's situation is different. We all aren't dealt the same cards, you know, at birth and parents and, you know, different situations. But we as people, it's about, you know, how we handle it and how we internalize it and turn it around and say, yeah, you know, like this isn't great, this sucks, but how are we going to make light of it and bring that darkness and bring the light to it, right? So how are we going to brighten it up for ourselves so that we can look in the mirror and feel confident about what we're trying to accomplish, with, you know, setting goals. Like just set goals, right? Like they could be as small or as big as possible, but then take that next step and then actually start to make them potentially a reality, right? To be potentially something that we can look back and say, look, this is the story. This is where I came from. This is some of the situations that I had to deal with. And I mean, I even know, like with my wife, like I tell her stories from my childhood. She's like, I can't believe that you had to deal with things like that. And you know, I did, and I come through it, and I'm always constantly looking at how can, you know, I not just improve the situation for me, but the people around me. And I think that when you have that kind of attitude and can take yourself from whatever the equivalent of a dark place is for you, and bring it to the light is something that I think is special and should be celebrated more.
were since you started? Give us kind of the ramp.
So 2019, we had 5,000 in sales. 2020, we had 32,000 in sales.
All right.
Then travel shut down. 2021, we finished with about 250,000 in sales.
Woo.
And then year to date, we are at 830,000 in sales.
Where are you
Let's
selling? Are you
go.
direct to consumer
DTC.
or are you in your D2C only?
Yeah.
So walk us through the stack. What does it cost you to make? What is your customer acquisition cost? What do you sell it for? I've looked at all the pieces. Beautifully made, by the way.
Thank you.
Stylish. Really kind of fits with my persona, fashionista. Right, so, you know.
Wears the same suit every single show.
It's
Oh, I just want to go back real quick here and show off. So, because I know it's a little cropped in, but when you get to actually see, yeah, they actually look a lot better. I feel like the one that they came out with initially looked very similar to the one that they tossed off to the side, so it didn't really make a lot of sense. I guess it wasn't firing in my brain, but seeing it up close, you know, not every bag has like this bag right here has a a strap to put on there. Actually, when we went to Disneyland the other week, I was sitting there and I look over and the bag rolls by and there's a kid with his hoodie zipped up and he's sitting on top of the bag. So that was the equivalent of their bag. But not every bag has that, right? So when you have it, you can take advantage of it. But when you don't, I think that, and I think there's a lot of probably particularly women that have bags that wouldn't have that extra flap for you to be able to slide it on. This is that opportunity to remedy that and add some more style to your look.
Stylish. Really kind of fits with my persona, fashionista. Right, so,
He wears the same suit every single show.
So
Yes, he
for
does.
our flagship product, the original travel belt, we make it for $4.61 landed at the warehouse. We sell it for $40.
What's the
Whoa,
customer
wow.
acquisition cost?
Yeah, so the customer acquisition costs vary between $27.50 and $29 on an average order value of about $61.50. So it's high. It's definitely something we want to get down, but we've still been able to grow.
What is your strategy in terms of channels? Are you going to go into wholesale? Like, how do you envision growing?
That's why we're here. We want to get into retail. We want to get into airport stores.
Are you the only team members?
We are
It's just us.
Just the two
So
of
it's
you?
just us two. We're still working full time to pay the bills and also prove that if we're hungry enough to grow this thing with jobs, we can grow even further without those jobs.
I would just
Love it. Ding ding. Okay, so yeah, I mean you got some challenges there, right? $27 to get in front of the customer. At the airport, I mean I tend to think that I don't know, at $40, it's $40 there. So if you're selling it wholesale for $20 and they're getting there at $40, I mean obviously you're right where the customer is going to be at the time in which they may or may not actually need it. I'm not sure of the metrics of I would equate this to like a neck pillow, right? Like for sleeping on an airplane. Like you might forget it, or maybe you only travel once in a while. So it's like, I'll just buy a neck pillow when I'm on, for $12 or I don't know what they cost, $15, $20 while I'm there. And maybe I remember it or forget it on the way, not just the way back, but to the next trip and the next trip and the next trip. But yeah, I think if they could get into those places, I think it would help, but you're going to be crunching, your profit way down. But I think the key thing there is not only do they know their numbers, right, James? Great, ding ding, you know your numbers, that's just great. But specifically knowing that your customer acquisition cost is like $27 to $29, you add that to your cost. So at $40, you're not really selling it high enough to really cover that, but obviously they have some other things that they're selling or higher end ones that they're selling if their average checkout is like $60 to $70. So I think they're on the right path, and clearly selling $800,000 of any product is definitely ding worthy.
just like to say, I'm super impressed with what you guys have built, but it's a little out of my wheelhouse. As an investor, I think I'm out, but I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
Congratulations on what you've accomplished. I think it's an amazing business. It just doesn't fit really to my strengths. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Thank you, Mark.
But congrats.
We appreciate it.
You blow me away and amaze me.
Thanks, Lord.
You've done a fabulous job. It's great quality.
Thank you.
But I actually have a partner in a business that makes something that is similar, but I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Lori.
I'm sorry, I'm out.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Appreciate it.
What I've come to so much appreciate about any hardship is they make the best entrepreneurs.
Yep.
I can remember in grammar school not being able to learn to read myself till I was barely starting in 7th grade. I sometimes even think my whole career has been one long attempt to prove I'm not stupid, as insecure as that might sound. But what a gift it is to have an early struggle, to come through it, and then to play it out in the real world. I think you have the ambition and the know-how to take it where you want it. I think you're already past the first hump, which is the hardest hump in building a business.
I gotta say, Barbara, I don't know that the first is the hardest. We could continue stumbling forward and be successful at some level, but I do know that the right partner can make the difference in years of mistakes, pitfalls, and slower growth. What we need more than...
All right, you sold me. I'm going to make you an offer.
Yay, let's go.
You're a good talker. I'm going to give you $200,000, but I'm going to give you half of it in a credit line, half of it in cash up front for 33% of your business.
Oh, come on, Barb.
Whoa.
Thank you for the offer.
Thanks, Barbara.
Well,
That is, wow. So yeah, the 100,000, 100,000, and 33%. That is tough. But you know, they haven't really talked about how much money they actually made at the end of the day, because I tend to think that they probably haven't made a whole lot of money. When you're talking like 29, you know, on the high end, $29. So it's like, if you round up to $5 and $30, that's $35. You're selling for 40. People are checking out at 60. We're gonna check out their website at the end, so stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna see what other items they have available on their site other than the belt clip. But you know, there's not much there. There's just not much there in the way of profit. So I could see 200,000, 33%. You know, it's a bit of a tough deal to swallow on their part, but they get to work with Barbara, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
That smile just dropped really, really quick when you heard it.
We can talk at the same time.
Well, there is one shark left.
So, yes, there is.
Ay, Chihuahua, caramba.
Exactly.
I've been wanting to say
So,
that.
I find your model right now really attractive. So, here's my offer. I'll do the 200,000. I want 20%, but this is definitely a royalty deal because there's no other way to get my capital back. But the royalty is going to be $4 a unit till I get my capital back.
Wow.
Okay? Then it drops
Wow.
to 50 cents in perpetuity.
You can
You're allowed to counter.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thinking, Barbara, would you do 25% with the same terms otherwise?
Well, let me ask you, would Ashley throw in James as my third husband after you're through with him?
Take him.
Remember, that's a term.
Ashley, that was fast.
Is that a deal?
Deal, damn it.
Well, do we have a deal or not?
Do we have a deal
For 25?
for
Yeah.
25?
We have a deal.
We have a deal.
And chances are, based on an age difference, that you might not even have to make good on that deal.
There you go.
We got a deal with Barbara. We love Barbara.
Love Barbara.
Love Barbara. So I have to give my fiance away, but
It was worth the equity.
it's worth the equity.
Oh, they're laughing. I don't think she's joking. Anyway, let's check out their website here. Oh, there it is. All right. So, we got seen on Shark Tank right at the top. We got their awesome, smiling, beautiful faces right there. We got people utilizing the products that they sell, which again, I think goes so much further. I keep getting comments in the, down there about like, oh, he just loves seeing people and faces. It's like, yeah, because look, this sells so much better than just this. Like, this helps and supports supports it all. But this really sells the experience, right? What is it like walking through an airport and having it on there? I wish though that this picture had their how do you pronounce it? Cincha? Cincha, right? I wish they had it like on the product at the time in which they took this photo. That would have been great. But no, it really helps tell the story. And they got travel belt bags, mini belts. What's the mini belt sell for? $32 right now, on sale from $35. So that's cool. I guess that's for like the smaller bag. I wish what was it? One of these just flipped, didn't it? No, it didn't. I thought it did. Oh, if you hold over. Okay. So yeah, I kind of wish that when you rolled over, it showed faster, like the fact that it's a smaller bag that you're putting it on, like the smaller travel bag. So like this is the mini, and then this is their strap bag, and then this is the full size one. So it's $31, or the travel belt bag. So that's okay. So it's the travel belt with a bag. So it's not just you could wear it as a shoulder strap, but also use it like this. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. It looks good. I mean, I'm not one for fashion, so it's, does the job. It's got a nice color to it. $67. Pretty good. All right, so let's go check out their Instagram. Got 11,700 followers over on Instagram. I wish I could have got to do this video the night that it aired. Unfortunately, just was in Disneyland, so that wasn't going to happen. But we got quite a bit of engagement for a travel bag. I don't want to say travel bag company, because it's not a travel bag company. I mean, technically they have the one bag, but yeah, a travel accessory company, I guess I would call it, right? So yeah, pretty good. 1,267 over here on Facebook. 3.9 stars with 7 reviews. A little bit of engagement. I mean, we see that constantly here. Secured the travel bag. Missed the pre-order email. That's funny. Yeah, so a little bit of engagement going on Facebook. And then they also have a Pinterest. We got 207 followers over on Pinterest. So anyway, James, Ashley, I'd love to have you on the show to have an interview, talk about Shark Tank experience in the business. Just drop a comment down below, like Marquis here, who says, stumbled across your channel and have watched religiously since. Keep up the amazing work, mate, and thank you for all the effort you put into your videos for the rest of us. You are so welcome. I appreciate you being a part of the super community, Mark. I'm glad you stumbled across the channel and have decided to stick around and become a part of the super community. I look forward to seeing your comments down below more often and giving your input to these, not just my videos, but the Shark Tank pitches and some maybe the Shark Tank interviews. Anyway, we got more right up here for you. Take care and go BC, bro. I'll see you in one of those.